This is so crazy. Three petahash a second. I've been trying to build a Bitcoin mining farm this big for a long time. And when you go to another petahash a second, it's a milestone, man. And this is crazy. This is truly increasing my passive income. This is the next chapter in the journey. And sneaking in a photo finish before the Bitcoin halving. Whew. Hey, what's up? I'm Drew Vosk. You're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. You can see some miners behind me. You may hear a miner that's in the other section of the garage over there. And I also have miners upstairs. And I've been working really hard to build the VoskCoin mining farm over the last several years, but really took the plunge to try to take this to the next level over about the last year and a half. So we have been pouring so much time, so much stress, so much money into this endeavor. I think Bitcoin is the hardest money in the world. I think the governments throughout the world are absolute trash. I think fiat is worse than toilet paper. We never ran out of dirty US dollars, especially during a pandemic from a man-made virus, huh? Let's think about that. Anyway, passive income, it's a hack, it's a cheat code for life, right? Like, I want to be making my own money that these crappy governments cannot just inflate and inflate and inflate. And what they do is they basically steal your life. You work your life away, you piss your vitality away, all while they just laugh and pull the strings from the top. While we're just little rats in the maze, cogs in the machine. Well, I don't want to live that life. Once you know too much, there's no going back. But I'm not gonna just give up. That's why I've embraced Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. That's why blockchain's an incredible thing. How many Bitcoin can there be? Oh, 21 million. Okay, well that's cool. That makes sense. And the irony is you still get taxed by these governments on a technology, a borderless digital currency, digital gold that they don't even understand. Man. But anyway, moving on from that topic, I'm out here on the farm. This is the digital shovel mini pod. I was gonna build an air-cooled mining shed, but we had the opportunity to get this in and review it. 400 amps of electricity have been run to that, and it's cooking right now. Got around 24 miners in there at the moment. And then we have the hard drive mining shed, really completely unrelated to Bitcoin mining and what we've been talking about today. It also doubles as my field office right now because it is cooled year round with mini splits. Yes, even in the winter it needs cooling due to the heat. And then this is the Immersion mining shed, and there's even more on the other side. You can see those dry coolers over here, but this is liquid cooled Bitcoin mining. Oh, and I'll tell you right now, it's a freaking mess. Okay, but in there we got 6 miners, 3 miners, 2 miners, 6 miners. Behind the blue tub there's a tank with 8 miners. That pod, 2 miners. Cut the exhaust fan in. Finally, it was really a photo finish because it got really hot really quick here in Virginia. But we are cooking some serious Bitcoin. Most of my Bitcoin mining hash rate is with liquid cooled mining. So this is the fog hashing C2. I absolutely love the fog hashing immersion units. This thing is freaking sweet. It's the best starter immersion mining tank. The dry cooler is so quiet, and this is what its big brother looks like, the B6D. Unfortunately, I just had a power outage, and power's been restored, obviously, but there's fail-safes built into some of this equipment, like the fog hashing units, where you have to click them and basically say, hey, start the circulation, right? And it's like, okay. And then you click it again, and you start mining. Unfortunately, it's very seldom. I've had to do that twice, and I don't know, I've had that thing for maybe 6 months owning it. But it's the quickest and easiest thing to do to reset the unit. Because I don't want to put my hands in the fluid. I could get gloves or something and pull the cables in and out. One of the units did not come back online for whatever reason. Quickest and easiest thing to do is just power cycle it. So we've got a power meter right here, and you can see, you know, we're pulling 0.05 amps when we're doing nothing. So we'll click this, start circulation. You hear the pump kick on, saw the line move, cool. So now it's giving you temp, pumps on, fans on. I guess it senses liquid or something, and we start mining.
Hey guys, it's Miss Vosk here to tell you about today's video sponsor, Go Mining. Go Mining is a project that offers a new way of earning Bitcoin by purchasing NFTs that represent a share of hash rate power dedicated to Bitcoin mining. It's like mining, but without the difficulties associated with maintaining the equipment. Users can buy digital miners backed by real power and receive daily mining rewards. Users can sell their NFT or upgrade it using Go Mining's native currency to increase profits. They even have special collections too. To learn more about Go Mining, check out the link in the video description below and use code VoskCoin to save 5% on your purchase. This is not financial advice. Please do your own research.
The general rule of thumb with 3 petahash a second used to be in the most recent era of Bitcoin mining. Basically, one Bitcoin miner is about 100 terahash a second, so 1 petahash was about 10 Bitcoin mining rigs. In this era, because the era just kind of changed, an S21 can do as much as 200 terahash a second. And there's micro BT Watts miners that boast similar performance. And there's the S21 Pro that's coming out later this year that's even better than both of those. So it's safe to say we're entering the 200 petahash a second era of Bitcoin mining. These miners, they use a little bit more electricity. Generally, they're more efficient, but a lot of those miners can be fine-tuned. And I fine-tuned my miners for efficiency to maximize density as I work towards deploying a bigger mining farm. So I deployed the 29th miner, but what is the 29th miner? The 29th miner, the game changer, is an absolute Frankenstein of a mining rig. So let's go into the pod. Yeah, yes, put it out, put it out. There she blows. The T21 has a different power supply than the S21, right? So these are latest generation Bitcoin miners. But why do you not want to buy a T21? Well, the answer's kind of simple. It probably doesn't work for you unless you have 3-phase electricity. They made their changes, this, that, whatever, and the T21 has actually been one of the best Bitcoin miners to buy based on how much it costs. But the power supply that they build it with does not work on single-phase electricity. I have single-phase. So how the f are we running a T21? And it's running very well. Well, the answer is, and huge shout out to Altair. He was inspired and got started with mining through the original VoskCoin GPU mining videos, which, like, I think that's so cool. He's built and runs a great business now where he helps people source Bitcoin mining parts and some BTC miners and customize things that are interesting, right? So we've shown his mining PDUs a lot, but he also is the one who designed the Erlacher 120 volt miner that you plug in any outlet, basically anywhere. And he also tinkered with the T21 to get it running on single phase by basically changing the power supply to a S19 power supply and changing the firmware on it. This is all very interesting and, to be frank, a scary thing to do, as well as time consuming, right? Because what do you want to do? You want to plug in a miner and earn passive income. You want to get that return on investment. So to be sitting there tinkering with it when you could be earning with it, frequently talked about, seldom done. And anyway, he figured it out. We copy and pasted his blueprint. It's working great. And it really makes the T21 an interesting miner. And it also, if nothing else, is a massive lifesaver, okay? If somebody accidentally orders a T21, not understanding how it works, the fact that you cannot use it on single phase. You're just like, oh, I'll get the cheaper one. I'll get the T21. You get it, and then it doesn't work. Well, now what? Well, now this is what? You don't have to sell it for a loss. You can get it working. Yeah, again, that's the miner I just plugged in today to push us over that limit. And it's something I'm just very excited to see how this performs. We also downclocked it slightly. Again, credit to him because it pulls a little bit too much juice for that power supply. So what's next for me is building a 1 megawatt cryptocurrency mining farm. we'll see how it goes. I really want to do as much of it myself as I possibly can. So not rushing into it and, you know, paying out for a bunch of labor to scale quicker, right? Pros and cons to all that stuff. You know, I really enjoy the journey. Some days doing things, right? Learning, and just truly an owner operator where I need to know how to do everything out here, because I may need to do anything on any given day. This has been absolutely so easy to start, and that's why I always, you know, have fun with the passive income, right? It's as easy as plugging in power, plugging in Ethernet. But the more you do, the more you start to try to scale, the more difficult it gets, the more systems you introduce, all kinds of new, you know, things and problems. Right, we've tried DCX, fog hashing, Bixbit immersion systems, and there's pros and cons to each of these systems. You learn a lot along the way. You hit different problems and obstacles with some of them. So I think those videos are crazy. If you want to nerd out with me, with a couple hours of mining farm install, having fun, sometimes messing around footage, we've got all those on the channel. But the fact of the matter is that we now technically have 29 Bitcoin miners deployed, and a couple of them are small. Like we've got the little mini Canon Bitcoin miner, so that's barely a Bitcoin miner compared to these big boys, right? I mean, it mines at 3 terahash a second. I have an S21 that mines at 200 terahash a second. You contrast that with the S19 Erlacher, right? That thing's tuned down, and it's basically working at like half performance as a very cool and interesting experiment where you can mine on 120 voltage. So that means you can basically plug it into any outlet in your house, which makes Bitcoin mining that much more accessible. And some people are like, bro, like with Bitcoin mining so great, why do you talk about it? You just want an affiliate sale or something. You know, so we got links for miners and stuff down below. Yeah, of course, I appreciate when you support the channel by using our links and stuff like that. And we got the best coupon codes in the game, so you literally save more by punching in code VoskCoin in numerous places than anywhere else possible. So, you know, yeah. I say that because I want our subscribers to win, period. That's it. But I'm so into Bitcoin mining that I want more people to do it because it makes the network denser. It makes it anti-fragile. It's decentralized. If you put a Bitcoin miner in everybody's house throughout the world, guess what? You're never shutting Bitcoin down, right? If you have 3 major mining farms, just activate 3 jet bombers on Civilization 6 and bam, Bitcoin is down. Now what? Obviously nodes matter as well, and I wish that they would put nodes on Bitcoin miners. But with ordinals, the Bitcoin blockchain is getting a little beefy. When I look back, it's been really interesting, and I'll be frank, I did things in some weird ways, and I understood that, right? It's like kind of like, why do I have an immersion shed, and then why do I have a different pod, and then I got some miners in the other building, and then I got a test bench in my garage. I mean, this is a labor of love. This is a passion. This is a hobby and a business all wrapped into one. And there's also the content creation side of VoskCoin where, like, I wanted to take a shed and try a bunch of stuff in it and make it easy to recreate. I always want to do things that can be recreated. If you want to take my blueprint, the product of all my blood, sweat, and tears, and trust me, all of those went down in there. Go ahead. That's what the channel's for. And all I hope is you subscribe and stick around. I like trying different things and thinking about where do we go from here? What do I like? What do I dislike? What went well? What do I want to scale with? The coolest thing about all these little systems, right, is that I got to taste everybody's drink. And now I know what I want to order a gallon of. Because some of these didn't taste as good as I thought they would. It's also been a crazy learning experience, right? We poured concrete. We drilled concrete. We erected superstrut. We primed systems with up to multiple bars of pressure. We ran electrical circuits. We made our own Ethernet cables. We replaced exhaust fans. We made sure the belt tension was right. We just have continued to push and push and push and learn and learn and learn. And sometimes it was frustrating. Sometimes the pressure got to me. Sometimes too many things backed up. But other times you sit back and you look at your mining profitability and you just like, nice. I remember back when the farm was only making $200 a day mining Bitcoin. And now it's doing more than that. It's becoming a bigger business. It's more sustainable. The efficiency is better, right? And then there's the end game. I want to move towards solar and reduce my electricity costs and eventually just create all of my own electric. But it's one step at a time. And that's exactly what 3 petahash a second is. It's a step. It's a big step. And it's an exciting milestone. And I'm just always so go, 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 right? I'm trying to remind myself to take a deep breath and just be like, damn, man, like, you're doing it. You're doing it to some degree. The version of you from 5 years ago would be like, oh, really? That's what we're doing? But, you know, in my day-to-day, I'm like, we're behind. It's never enough. We got to do more. Beat the halving. And then you enter post-halving. It's like, now we got to be efficient post-halving. We got to survive. We need Bitcoin to pump. I mean, there's so much to get wrapped up in. And I truly feel and believe that the world just seems more negative than it's ever been. Everything is more expensive in this era. Inflation is sky freaking high. We're still just drowning in the current, active, and after effects of even higher previous inflation. I'm just trying to keep pushing, chasing financial freedom, and chasing, you know, some balance in life and really just some happiness. Because it's not just all about getting, you know, some Bitcoins and some dollars. There's so much more to life and everything. So, you know, on that note, I want to go check on some things that matter a lot to me. That's going to be Miss Vosk, as well as the venerable, the beautiful Tails. We run 10 seconds of Tails in every video. She kickstarted the VoskCoin journey from the mining farm as well, especially the YouTube content creation side of things. And I'm also probably getting sunburned. So I'll see you later. Also, if you didn't see it, I'll drop a link, but we brought the Bitcoin Super out, which I think is a really fun way to just try to grow Bitcoin in my own weird way. And, you know, it grows the channel a little bit too. And we brought that out this past weekend, got it on track, put down some laps, and really had a shot at it all. But I'll let you click the link and see what happens to your boy at Time Attack. Hey, on that note, if you're still watching this, you watch this video all the way through, you're freaking awesome, okay? So I believe in you, you believe in yourself, and I hope both of us also believe in me. So I'll see you later.